We've mapped where memories live. Now, the question every student actually cares about: how do you get information to lodge in long-term memory and stay there? This is the science of encoding, and the findings are genuinely useful. The single most important principle is depth of processing. Information processed shallowly by how a word looks or sounds is poorly remembered. Information processed deeply by what it means is remembered far better. This is the levels of processing effect, and it has a sharp implication. Passively rereading or highlighting feels productive but encodes shallowly, which is why you can read a page 5 times and remember almost nothing. To encode deeply, you have to engage with meaning. The most powerful version of meaningful encoding is elaboration, connecting new information to what you already know, building a web of associations. The more connections a new memory has, the more retrieval routes lead back to it. This is why relating a concept to your own life or explaining it in your own words works so much better than memorizing a definition. You're weaving a new fact into an existing network. A related trick is self-reference. Information connected to yourself is remembered especially well because the self is such a rich, well-developed structure to attach things to. Imagery helps too. We remember vivid mental pictures better than abstract words, which is the secret behind classic memory techniques. The method of Loshi, the memory palace, works by placing items to be remembered at locations along a familiar route, then mentally walking. It harnesses our powerful spatial and visual memory, and it's how memory champions perform their feats. Organization matters as much as depth. Information that's structured, grouped, outlined, arranged into a hierarchy is far easier to encode and retrieve than a random list because the structure itself becomes a retrieval scaffold. And then there's the finding that overturns how most people study. Spacing your practice out over time produces far stronger, longer-lasting memory than cramming it all at once. The spacing effect. Cramming can get you through tomorrow's test, but the knowledge evaporates. Spaced study builds memory that endures. The reason ties back to encoding. Each spaced session forces you to retrieve and re-encode, strengthening the trace each time. So the recipe for strong encoding is process meaning, not surface, elaborate and connect to yourself. Use imagery and organization, and space your practice. Forming the memory is half the battle. The other half is getting it back out when you need it. And storage and retrieval have their own fascinating rules. That's next.